please like and subscribe. I was born to middle-class parents. Dad was a lawyer and Mom was a sculptor, and unfortunately, she wasn't as good as she thought. Is that a monkey's butt, Mom? Yes, it represents freedom. You won't get it. I don't think anyone will. Growing up, I was closer to my dad. He would read to me every day and tuck me into bed, while Mom stayed in her room making weird structures from mud. Every time Dad asked her to get a real job, she would lock herself in and not come out for days. One evening after an argument with Dad, Mom left the house in the middle of the night. We searched everywhere and found her in the park, crouching under a tree. What took you guys so long? Look what I made. Mom, we were going crazy looking for you. Oh, but I was right here, darling. Things changed after that. Mom and Dad started avoiding each other even more, and Dad got busier with work. I started reading to keep myself distracted, and by 17, I'd read almost all the books in Dad's library. One night, I was studying for a test when I heard Mom and Dad arguing again. I work hard all day and night, and you go behind my back to get these useless things? I'm trying to build something amazing. I knew you wouldn't give me the money if I told you. Just relax. No, I won't. I've had enough. I'm leaving. What? No, Dad, wait. Dad didn't even turn around. I was so mad at Mom for driving him away that I didn't talk to her for days. After Dad left, things went downhill quickly in terms of money. I was a straight A student, so we got an extension on the fees, and somehow I convinced my mom to get a job in the diner so we wouldn't go completely broke. But a few days later, I came back from school to find Mom sitting outside the house. What? What happened? The landlord threw us out. We didn't have the money for rent. But I thought you got a salary. Yes, but then I saw this beautiful sculpting kit and I couldn't stop myself. Can't you ask for an advance at your job? Oh no, I can't. I quit. Waiting on people is not my thing. You quit? Mom, are you crazy? We're homeless because you spent everything on those stupid supplies. This is not stupid. This is my dream. And what about my dreams? You know I want to study law. And you know what? It's my fault. I should have known better. The look on Mom's face broke my heart, but I was too mad to think straight. We took our luggage and moved to a motel nearby, and I spent the whole night applying to every part-time job on the internet. That's when I came across an ad asking for a babysitter for 10-year-old twin girls. The money was good, so I applied, and luckily I got a call back almost immediately, along with an address. The place was in the middle of nowhere, and as I stepped inside, a can of juice went flying past me, almost hitting me in the head. This is cranberry. I'm allergic to this. You want me to die, don't you? Hello? I'm talking to you. Sis? I think she's finally gone crazy. What do you think? Should we kick her out too? The poor maid stood still like a rock, staring at the floor as the two brats screamed at her. I could see tears rolling down her face, but her expression remained cold as ice. Hi. I think they're talking to you. And you two, can you stop flinging things like that? You might end up hurting someone. Then don't stand in the way, ugly face. Who are you anyway? A trespasser from the media? Oh my god, a kidnapper? I'm here for the babysitting job? Oh, but aren't you supposed to be all old and wrinkly? And what are you still doing here? Get your deaf butt out of this room.
Now, that's not a very nice thing to say, Emerald.
Suddenly, a handsome guy in his 40s walked in, and the whole place fell silent. Something about his face screamed royalty to me, but when he spoke, a chill ran down my spine.
You must be Monica. I'm Robbie Jackson. That's Emerald and Pearl, my daughters. Just excuse their behavior. They get hyper around new people.
No problem, but they do need to treat people with respect.
Of course. That's why I want a good nanny for them. That could teach them some manners. You see, I'm a busy man, and I need my space.
Sure, but I thought you needed a babysitter.
Potato, potato. You help them study, eat, sleep, everything. And sometimes you have to stay the night. Like tonight I have a charity event, and I'll be back tomorrow. I'll pay you extra for this. Do we have a deal?
I thought about it for a moment before agreeing, and Mr. Jackson immediately gave me $5,000 as a salary advance. This was huge. Don't get too happy. We won't make it easy on you. Consider this as our warning. Dad's soft, but we're not. Try me. I'm tougher than you think. As I lay on my bed that night, I couldn't shake an uneasy feeling about the house and those creepy brats. God, those girls needed some discipline. I went downstairs to get some water and found the maid from the morning, so I thought of having a little chat. Hey there, so how long have you been working here? Silence. Could you tell me your name at least? Why? Please don't talk to me. Before I could say anything else, this maid turned around and left. Well, that was awkward. I was just getting over this weird moment when suddenly I heard someone howling downstairs. I got freaked out and rushed to check up on the twins when I realized one of them was missing. What the freaking Funyuns? Diamond? Sorry, Pearl? Pearl? What? Stop screaming. Where's your sister? She's not here. Shh, stop freaking out. She went to her special place. She'll come back. Chill. What special place? How would I know? She just calls it her special place. She goes there every night and comes back later. Just try to shut up. I'm trying to get some sleep. Pearl simply pulled the blanket and turned around. Helpless, I tried looking for Emerald everywhere, but it was like she disappeared into thin air. The next morning before leaving for school, I went straight to Mr. Jackson to talk about it.
Don't think about it too much. Just be careful around the girls. They've taken a hit after their mom got into a coma. If you take good care of them, you'll never have to look for another job.
Mr. Jackson looked desperate, and in some ways it reminded me of my own dad around Mom trying to get her to work. Over the next few days, I tried everything to warm up to the girls, but they were just horrible. They'd burn my assignments, super glue my chair, and one time, they filled my bag with broken eggs. It took me hours to clean that. One day at work, Mr. Jackson informed me that it was the twins' 11th birthday, and he wanted to throw the biggest party ever. But an hour before guests started pouring in, he left for an urgent business meeting, leaving me in charge. When I told the girls, they went ballistic. He always gets away with it. Not this time. He's gonna regret missing out on our birthday. Emerald pulled a lighter out of her pocket and rushed to the library. I chased her all the way up in this maze of a house and found her with a lighter under a massive painting. I wonder how he'll feel when we burn his favorite painting down. You can't. You won't. Listen, Emerald, I'm sure something important came up. That doesn't mean he can abandon us like that. And what do you know? You probably have both of your parents loving you. Actually, no. I told the girls about my issues regarding Mom and Dad, and suddenly they went softer. Emerald pulled the lighter down, and after that day, she was surprisingly kinda well-behaved. The week went by peacefully, and soon the school announced the annual scholarship test. I asked Mr. Jackson if he could spare me for a week, but he suggested I just move in instead. It didn't sound half bad, so I agreed, but when I told Mom, she said she had a bad feeling about it. Well, I would have preferred if she had a job instead of a bad feeling, but whatever. I moved in the next day, and while I was setting up my stuff, Mr. Jackson called for me.
Now that you're here, you need to understand two things. My study is off limits, and the room on the top floor remains closed at all times. Under no circumstances are you allowed to go in.
I felt a bit weird with the way he spoke, but I nodded my head and went back to my room. Moments later, the girls walked in and asked if I wanted a tour. They took me around the house, showing off their bowling alley, swimming pool, and arcade. Do you get to play many games with your dad? No, he's always busy. Oh, okay. Why do you say it like that? Like what? Like you're feeling sorry for us? Oh, look at those poor little girls. They don't have a mom, and their dad is too busy. I'm sure you're thinking that. But guess what? Our daddy loves us deeply. Hey, I didn't mean it like that. You know what? Forget it. I'm sorry if you feel that way. Sorry doesn't heal anything. Before I could ask her what she meant, Emerald just turned around and left, and the maid told us that dinner was ready. Don't think too much. She's a bit crazy. You should know that by now. Also, never be late for dinner, or you'll starve the night. What? That night and the night after went by fine, but then I started noticing weird things. For starters, Mr. Jackson was never around anymore. He never spoke or ate with us, and when he came home, he went straight to his study. As if this wasn't weird enough, 2 nights before the exam, I heard a light tapping on the door. My body froze as the knocking got louder, but when I opened the door, I saw a light flicker in the downstairs area, and then I saw Emerald. She was at it again. This time, I followed her, and it looked like she was headed toward the basement. Emerald, shh, you're not supposed to go there. She can't hear you. The soul left my body when I turned around to face Pearl. You scared the bejesus out of me. Sorry, but I just wanted to stop you before you did something stupid. Pearl then told me that Emerald went down to the basement almost every night, and sometimes she even sleeps there. It's got all of Mom's stuff. No one, not even Dad, disturbs her. Ever since Mom went into a coma, that's how she comforts herself. That explains why she went missing the first night I was here. But if you knew that, why didn't you tell me before? It was just fun watching you get creeped out. Anyway, you should sleep now. I'll keep an eye on her. I believed Pearl and went back to bed. But an hour later, I woke up again, and this time it was to the smell of smoke. My room was drowning in smoke. As I made my way to the hall screaming for the girls and dialing the fire brigade. Monica! Oh my God, are you okay? What happened? I don't know. I was waiting for Emerald and passed out on the floor. When I woke up, there was fire everywhere. Hold on. Where's Emerald? The two of us rushed toward the basement, but the fire was totally out of control. Luckily, the fire truck arrived just in time and rescued Emerald unharmed. They said that the fire was caused because of a candle in the basement. I was just lighting up some of Mom's favorite candles, and I didn't realize when I tossed off, I burned everything that belonged to Mom. I'm so sorry. As long as we found you. Emerald started sobbing, and I hugged her tight. Just then, Mr. Jackson arrived looking horrified, and when the fire guys told him what caused the mess, he lost his mind.
You know what? I've done everything for you girls, and all you've done is made a mess out of my life. How could you burn the house down?
I'm sorry to butt in, Mr. Jackson, but it was a mistake. Emerald feels horrible, and to be honest, you should be glad your girls are okay.
And who are you to tell me what to do? Don't forget your place. You're just a servant here.
You can't talk to her like that, Dad. She saved our lives.
I can do whatever I want. Watch this. You're fired. Don't come here again.
Gladly, Mr. Jackson. And I hope you become a better parent, because God knows these girls deserve it. I said my final goodbyes to the girls and left. Thanks to the wild night, I was super exhausted at school the next day and totally tanked my scholarship test. When I went home, Mom gave me the shocking news. Thanks to the fire, the secret room in the house had to be opened to check the damages, and thousands of gold coins and illegal cash were recovered. Everything belonged to Mr. Jackson. He was taken to jail, and the girls were sent to London to stay with their aunt. Wow! That's why he kept the room shut all the time. I'm just happy the girls are safe.
Yeah, Mon, I'm sorry for putting you through this. I've been a horrible mother.
You stuck around, and that's all that matters.
I promise, I'll be better.
And she made good on the promise, working hard and bagging a good deal on her sculptures. I lost the scholarship opportunity, but our combined savings were enough to put me through the first year at Stanford. But halfway through the year, I received an anonymous donation of $1 million. And when I saw the bank details, it was some Linda Jackson, Mr. Jackson's wife. I immediately called the number, and Linda's secretary arranged for a meeting. I was surprised to see the girls waiting for me along with their mom. Monica!
I've heard so much about you from my daughters. It feels like I know you already.
It's nice to see you've recovered, ma'am, and thank you for bringing these brats along. Linda held my hand and thanked me for saving her daughters and exposing her cruel husband. She even offered me a job at her company right after I graduated, and since the pay was good, I took it up. Don't get too happy. We won't make it easy for you. I'm counting on that.